Hi everyone, and welcome to Snowfell's Charm School, where we use tarot card readings to analyze personality, and we use personality to analyze relationships. I'm your host, Evangeline, and I'm going to start with providing a little bit of serotonin to the environment, or at least attempt to. And while I do that, I'll be doing it with these tools. While I do that, I will be, what will I be doing? Oh, I'll be explaining my thought processes. Would that be a good, like, processes Snowfell? I think that would be a lovely like name for a daughter. Processes. Oh, I would love her to pieces. Anywho, all of my personality reviews that I do here on YouTube are going to be based off the Big Five personality assessment, as well as the DSM-5's personality disorders. The DSM-5 includes 10 personality disorders. If you're interested in getting a little bit more insight on the criteria, I have added two more personalities to my personality system, making 12 personalities. The two I've added are going to be stable and social. In my 12 step, or not step, my 12 personality type system, I have separated the 12 into 4 groups. Group 1 being the romantic group, group 2 being the non-romantic group, group 3 being romantic resistant, and group 4 being romantic desperate. Okay. The romantic group includes borderline, histrionic, and social, the new personality type that I've added. And the non-romantic personality group includes paranoid, schizoid, and schizotypal. The romantic resistant type is going to be is going to include narcissistic, antisocial, and obsessive. And the romantic desperate group is going to include dependent, avoidant, and stable, the other new one. Okay. My goal here as a worshiper of Aphrodite and a virtual matchmaker is the romantic group, of course. I do reside in the romantic group, but I do recognize that other people do not reside in the romantic group, hence the other groups. And the priority for a soulmate type or romantic relationship, I guess I'm just gonna call it a romantic relationship, may or may not be a priority to the other groups, specifically the non-romantic group. Where am I? Here I am. There you are. What do I want to say now? Something. A romantic relationship, according to my research and personal belief as one of the romantic personality types, I believe that a romantic relationship must include serotonin as a basis, dopamine and equal parts dopamine and equal parts oxytocin. You'll also hear me describe dopamine as Aphrodite pandemonia and oxytocin as Aphrodite urania. If you're interested in those concepts, it's readily available along with the Big Five personality assessment and the DSM-5 personality disorders. If you're interested in doing a deeper dive into things, I can't say everything in a video, but I have made several videos, specifically talking about personality types as well as my thoughts on things in general. Yeah, so I am going to lay out I'm going to lay out a type of case study with my tarot cards here. So we'll get an imaginary client who is looking for our aphrodisial advice. Aphrodisial? Is that a word? Can I make up words? Can we still make up words now, or is it like too late? Was there only like a certain time in history when we could make up words, or can I keep doing that? Because I would like to add aphrodisial to things. Okay? Venetian. How about Venetian? My Venetian advice. I like aphrodisial though. So yeah, I'm gonna lay some out. We're gonna see your client, see what personality have, the reasons why they're asking for the aphrodisial advice, and how they might interact with dopamine or serotonin, or how it is that we can help them with whatever it is that they're asking help with. Okay, we'll take this chunk, this one, this one, this one. Take this one here. This one, oops. I'll put that one here. And I think that something that's just come to mind as I'm shuffling here, I think that when you're of a personality type, it's important for you to figure out what it is that revitalizes you. For me, as a histrionic personality type, or being on the histrionic personality spectrum, like spending time with myself really does, revitalize me, as well as like any form of like praise or recognition. I'm gonna do you and you, you and you. And then that one, which is kind of weird for our study today. Okay, so the bottom of the deck is going to be represented by the Hermit. So this is going to be the reason why this person has come for our aphrodisial advice. I want a shirt that says aphrodisial advice, or something, or maybe a shirt that says ask me about my aphrodisial advice. I think another thing that kind of gets the histrionic energy up is I don't know, like that very flamboyant type of energy. Um, very like, yeah. Anywho, I'm not gonna spend too much time on that. As far as our client goes, our client is going to be represented by two cards today, which is very interesting. Um, and it's going to be the Fool and the Magician. So I don't know why I'm like, hi guys. I do feel like this is maybe a little bit like histrionic energy. Um, the combination is just very, it's very, it resonates. It resonates a lot. The Fool and the Magician. This is very party clown energy. Which I think is very fun. Very pleased by that. Very, very, very histrionic energy. Um, I think we might actually get to talk about histrionics now, even though I talk about it all the time because I can't help but talk about myself. Um, um, as far as a background goes, um, oh, um, yeah, as far as the background goes, it's going to be represented by the Nine of Swords. So this is like, especially with a hermit, it's giving very much like, this is very much like guilt, anxiety, fear type of energy. Um, yeah. So this is someone who is, could that be somebody else? Not with this combination. Yeah, I would say this is someone, I don't know, I think that's a little self-explanatory. Let's move on. As far as the aspiration goes, we have the Child of Pentacles. Now, all the children of the tarot card deck, or pages, which they're more commonly known as, are going to represent, at least in my interpretations of tarot card reading, is going to be all about openness. So all the children are going to be naturally good at being open to things, absorbing information, new information, accepting new information. And then with the Pentacles, this is the kind of like, kind of organizing all that information. This is really giving me theatrical energy, very actor energy. This is very like putting on different hats or like walking in different shoes type of energy. This is someone who's like trying to get good at that, being good at like being good at like kind of filtering all that, all the new stuff. Yeah. As with the Hermit energy and the Nine of Swords energy, this is someone who's like trying to understand what's going on. This is giving me a little bit like, have you seen those memes where, I've usually seen them only on like cartoons or whatever, but they'll have like a character who is like has like a has like a really fat ass or something like that, and then I don't know if it's the same, if the trend's still the same due to like, you know, Ozempic and Wegovy or whatever it is, like the weight loss things. I don't know if being exceptionally curvy is in right now, if it's still in right now, but at that moment when those memes were out and we had a character that had like, who was like dummy thick, they would be like, you know, they'd be turned from the back and they'll be like, you know, they'll be like, why I don't understand why everyone's so mean to me. And they just have like so much, you know, the joke is like, I don't know what the joke is, but Anywho, like this combination with the combination of the 5 cards that I just looked at, it's giving me a little bit like, I don't know why everyone's so mean to me. Um, Especially with this, like, with the Fool energy and the Magician energy, like the party clown type of energy. Um, this is giving me like, I don't know why everyone's being mean to me type of energy. Um, And I would say if someone came up to me and asked me for my aphrodisiacal advice on why is everyone being mean to you, if someone came up to me and said everyone's being mean to me and I just don't know why, I would say, well, I might ask them. I'm like, well, okay, well, did you intentionally make them like feel bad? Like, I guess I would need more information. Um, But if, I mean, yeah, I do think that there's only a certain amount of personality types that are going to come and ask somebody why someone's being so. I think, if someone, I feel like if a histrionic individual came up to me as a fellow histrionic and they asked me why everyone's being mean to them, I would say, well, because you're really noticeable, you know? And I feel like they would respond, well, that doesn't mean they have to be mean to me. And I would say that. Um, I would say that's true. Um, oh, I hope they would not ask me like, oh, should I be less noticeable? And that's really sad. And I was like, well, that's exactly what they're trying to do. Yeah, I would say everyone's being mean to you because you're really noticeable and they don't want you to be so noticeable. Yeah. And I feel like that's an interesting way to be like kind of like jealous of someone. Um, well, being jealous of their attention. And I do think attention equates to love. But I was just talking in my other video that not all attention is good attention. Um, and I think that's very interesting because that would mean that not all love is good love. Um, hmm, hmm, hmm. Because I think the same people who bully other people do love that person. Like, if you really think about it, like when you watch those movies and there's like the high school bully and they're always bullying that same person, they are like deeply, deeply attached to that person. Like, they are using that person to um, reflect their identity. Like, who's a bully without someone to bully? Nobody. Um, yeah. I would say that that is a type of relationship. That's crazy. That's really crazy. You know what? I was just, something popped up on my YouTube algorithm and it was, I don't know what it was. I don't think I'm going to watch it or anything like that. But the title of it was called All Boyfriends Bully. And it was like two guys. So this is a homosexual relationship. Um, and yeah, and it said all boyfriends bully. And I think that's really, it bleeds into my last video where it seems like um certain, like, if you identify as a certain type of person, like LGBT or queer or feminine or a woman or something like that, there is this kind of like they promote this idea that you should accept being bullied. Like, when people, I don't know, well, I hear people talk to say things like to their daughters and be like, this guy, he's, keeps pulling my hair and stuff like that in class, and they'll excuse their behavior and be like, oh, the boy just really likes you. They'll say that to a girl, a little girl, and they'll say the little boy just really likes them, and that's why they're being mean to them. And oh, this is very much the same thing. And it's, I don't, maybe. Maybe another histrionic would like this, but it does make me think. But like, if someone's being mean to you, it's because it's be, well, that's a very interesting type. It's like an intolerable form of love. Um, if someone came up to me and said these people are being really mean to me, I was like, it's because they love you and they don't want to. And that's something to think about. It's and I think about that when it comes to like bullying, especially when it comes like bullying people who are LGBT. There's also a meme of like a kid, like a guy will get bullied by another guy and be called like a sissy and stuff like that. And later on, like it was a whole little cartoon. So in this scenario, where the guy that was being bullied transitioned and to like their internal identity, their eternal gender. And then the bully is exceptionally attracted to um, that person. But I don't think that it was because of the transition. I think it's because they've always been like attracted to that person, and they couldn't act on it because, yeah, I think that some people bully. I think that some people bully. This is very interesting. I think some people bully gay men because they're attracted to them, but they're not supposed to be. They're not supposed to be. And I think that same for like men who are attracted to gay men, um, and women who are attracted to gay men. Um, I think they both bully. They both bully. Um, and I think it has to do with being like attracted to them, but not being homosexual, or um not being the right sexuality, or not being the right gender. So I think that when guys bully other guys for being um feminine. This is so crazy because in my last job, I had someone I had someone disrespect me. I had someone disrespect me, right? And they approached me, and my thought was like, oh no. My thought was, oh no, they're attracted to me and I'm gonna have to let them down because I'm not attracted to them because I don't like their energy. Um, I think that's another thing too. Like when you're histrionic and people finding you attractive, they are really hurt when you don't find them attractive too. But it's kind of crazy because a histrionic person is not responsible to be attracted to everybody that ever exists. So, oh my God. But anyway, the guy approached me, and my first thought was like, oh my God, this guy's gonna hit on me, and he's gonna hit on me like pretty hard because this is a pretty aggressive way to approach me. I had never talked to him before. Before he talked to me, I was in like a training class or whatever, and of course I'm like me, very very flamboyant, very feminine, and so yeah, and I didn't talk to him in the class or whatever, but and I felt like he was watching me. I felt so nervous, and you know what? I felt so nervous too, right? This is a crazy thing. I felt so nervous because there was like a group of these guys, and they're very like masculine, cis straight guys, whatever. And so I felt uncomfortable because I got a little bit of that trauma from like high school or whatever, but and I was nervous, but I was trying to be cool because you can't let them see you sweat. But and then so this girl that I saw every once in a while, she was really nice, and I really liked her energy and stuff. Like I thought she was cool. She was tall like me or whatever, and we were gonna be partnered up. I think I asked her, and I don't know, that made me feel some type of way too, because it didn't seem like she wanted to be partners with me either. But I do think that's the same, like, and then like, so I had to hold out my hands or whatever, and they were like a little shaky, and then she made a point of saying it, and I really think that that's a form of like, it was like a form of like a subtle bullying thing, like to point out like like a to point out someone's being uncomfortable, and it wasn't like, oh, it's cool, whatever. It wasn't like she was trying to reassure me. She was just trying to point out a flaw in me, and I thought she was so cool at this point, or before this point, or whatever. And and I feel like it's because like, I don't know. I don't want to be like, well, I'm histrionic, so I guess I shouldn't hold back. But I think it was that she was, attracted to me, or at least thought that I looked attractive or whatever. And I think the cognitive dissonance about being attracted to me, but also knowing that I was not like, not just that I wasn't like masculine, I think bothered her. And this is not the like, there was also another person, another woman, and who would like we worked with kids, right? And sorry to be all like long tangenty about this or whatever, but this may help some people. But the kids told me that that she had said that if I wasn't gay, that she would be attracted to me. Now she denied it, of course. She denied it, of course, because that would be that essentially, she seemed embarrassed or whatever. But at this, at the same time, I'm like, well, okay, that's okay, that's an okay statement to say. But she was embarrassed about it, so it made me feel like she did say it and she didn't want me to know about that, or she said it to somebody else and didn't know that the kids were listening or whatever. And she would, it's like this weird type of energy. Like, I don't know if like, I'm sure other people go through this or whatever. But and I didn't even finish talking about the other guy. So the other guy like approached me or whatever and was talking of very like super, like the conversation was a very sexual conversation. And again, I had not talked to him before, so this was really like, and he had come from a different part of the building and did not have to come to the part of the building I was at. We were like pretty much stationed where we are, so as soon as he got some free time, he came to my station to ask me a very sexual question. And but then wanted to talk about how much how like straight he was. So this was really, so uh like I'm about to like I'm about to explode with this type of like like realization. It's like this person, I was so noticeable. I'm histrionic, of course. I'm so noticeable, so therefore so attractive, that he had thought about this. This was, we had the training long into the day and then did a whole shift, a whole like 8-hour shift. And like 6 hours into the 8-hour shift, around 6 to 7 hours into the 8-hour shift, he comes to talk to me, which means that he has been thinking about me this whole time for 6 hours, all right? To come and tell me, to check how, like, to emphasize, if he was doing anything, it was to emphasize how gay I seemed, how feminine I seemed, and how straight or how masculine he was. And it really, like, I did kind of like, I I did let him have it in a way, like, to basically just, I wasn't very tolerant of it. I didn't yell at him or anything like that, but he did leave our conversation with very, very low energy. In the next few days, he seemed very, like, almost ashamed of himself. I guess I shamed him. I shamed him really heavily, um, for his for approaching me in such a disrespectful way. And I don't think he thought that I was going to do that. So I think it caught him by surprise. But I had to leave that job. You know what? I had to leave that job. And the reason why I had to leave that job is because everyone was bullying me, because everyone was attracted to me, but none of them could get any of this. And I don't mean like none of them could get any of this. Like I was going to. It wasn't even my choice. It wasn't even my choice. You had already set yourself up to not be able to accept any of this. Like he didn't accept his. He obviously didn't accept his sexuality because he had to come over to me to prove his own sexuality, which is a big flag. That's a big flag. Um, so if anyone approaches you and tries to like talk about your sexuality without having a conversation before that, without any reason to do such, they're in the closet basically. And if you do approach someone to talk about their sexual, like, I just have to know, I just don't understand, I just need some clarity or whatever, they don't need clarity on your sexuality, they need clarity on their own sexuality, because something about them is attracted to you and they don't want to be attracted to you. It's the same thing with like family members or friends. If your family member or your friends start bothering you about your sexuality or your presentation, like, or if they say something like, "Oh, you would be like a pretty trans person" or something like that, they're basically saying that they're attracted to you and they want you to be different so they don't have to be attracted to you. It's because they can't handle their own attraction to you. And when a family member does that, it's very exceptionally uncomfortable for everyone involved. But I do think that like family members sexualize the other people in their family by talking about whether or not they'll be a lady killer or you have to beat the boys off with a stick type of energy. And this can be the same gender to same gender. And I really don't understand why people can't really like, they really have a problem with it. They really have a problem with themselves. So basically what I'm saying is like, to the histrionic person that asking me, why is everyone why is everyone bullying me, or why does it seem like everyone hates me and stuff like that? It's because they have a deep attraction to you and they don't want to. And they don't want to. So yeah, and I would say like if you're a histrionic person and you don't get a lot of attention, it's because a lot of people don't want to give it to you. It's not that it's not that they're not attracted to you, it's that they don't want to be attracted to you. Which is their problem. Which is their problem, which I think is kind of crazy because I don't know if it has to do with being histrionic or not, but I'm not like readily attracted to people. I'm not readily attracted to people because I do find most people to be like mean and disrespectful. Um, Yeah, and I feel like just like that girl I was talking about, like she was really, 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 really pretty. She was really, really pretty. And when I say like I'm not like naturally or like just instinctually or like blatantly attracted to um feminine people, I'm like pansexual enough to like, if you're really cool, you're really cool. Like I'm not going to deny a cool relationship. It's not going, it's you gotta be cool. Like, and I do think that sometimes that energy of being attracted, like in a scenario, I think that women who are attracted to gay men because they don't want to be, because they think that that relationship can't happen because they're not a man or that you're not straight, it ruins the energy. It ruins the energy. Um, if Because there have been around plenty of people who are like don't care about that, but as soon as like, and I've had friends who talked about how they were attracted to feminine or homosexual guys, and it's really off-putting. It's really off-putting because you're really objectifying me. You're really objectifying me. And before you said that, I wanted to be close to you, if anything. And then after you said that, I don't want to be close to you anymore. Because you already disrespected the boundary by simplifying me to something. All right, I'm not going around being like, I only like guys. I'm not saying this, but I don't know if you're saying this or anyone's saying this, and I don't know if every situation is the same, but I think because I'm so free in my flamboyancy that other people are like, well, he's not going to be attracted to women or whatever it is, so I have to be all like a weirdo about it. And I'm like, okay, well, the problem isn't your femininity. It is you're being a creep. You're being real creepy. Okay, so um, for some of you people out there, you might need a reality check that you're being a little creepy. All right. Um, That's very much the same thing as like a straight guy being like, I have a thing for lesbians. Like, that's exactly the same fucking thing. Like, it's exactly the same thing. And I don't know how many times I've run into women who said that they love gay men. And I'm like, you are a creep. You're a creep. You're a creep. You're a fucking creep. You're a fucking creep. And I should have called the police on you. That's so fucking creepy. And then especially like, and they'll try to be like all like, I don't know, very like sneaky about it too. Like this is just my my experience. I hope that you guys have a different experience, but women can be exceptionally creepy, exceptionally creepy. As I don't know if it's especially. It feels like it. In my case, it is. But and I have had close friend relationships with um, cis straight women, and they at some point become very creepy. They become very creepy because they want you to be like their second boyfriend, and but they'll insist on a hierarchy. They'll insist on a hierarchy, like this is my boyfriend, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, well, why when your boyfriend's around, when your boyfriend's not around, do you treat me like this? It really gets me. It really gets me. Like, and I did not think about this before. Every time I do a tarot card reading, it's something else to think about that just kind of blows my mind. But yeah, women can be so creepy. I think I think people can just be so creepy. People can be just so creepy. But like if you think, okay, I feel like a lot of people will be like, men are just creeps, or and then people will be like, not all men, but it is a lot of them. It's more than the majority of, I mean, it's definitely the majority of them. But I would say also, and I'm not going to say like it's a majority of women, but there is a section of women who are, they come with that same energy. And like I've run into trans women too who come with that same very like aggressive inability to respect boundaries type of energy. And I think that women, whether trans or cis, who have a creepy nature in them, which I think would probably be under antisocial. Yeah, definitely antisocial energy. I think antisocial women, whether it's trans or cis, hide behind their femininity and be like, I can't be creepy, I'm a woman. And you'll see that a lot too. Like, and when I worked in the mental health field, you hear stories of lots of women taking advantage of um, like adolescent males. Um, yeah, and like running away with them, and like being a fucking creep. And in all the stories, like all the like there are at least 5 different stories, and all of them were women being fucking creeps. So, um, I think that's something to think about when we think about people, and it's like it's that antisocial energy. Like they don't know, like they can't abide by rules. They can't abide by rules. They can't abide by rules. They have to um, put themselves past someone else's boundary. And this is, you can be male, you can be feminine, you could be trans male, you could be trans feminine. Um, you could be non-binary. It really doesn't matter. So when we have like the gender, the war of the genders or whatever, or the battle of the sexes or whatever it is, that shit is bullshit. That's bull fucking shit. That's bull fucking shit. Y'all, this video is not about attacking other people, but some of y'all are creepy. Some of y'all are just really creepy. Some of y'all really can't respect other people. Some people can. Some people just can't respect other people. And I do think that like when cis women attacks trans women, they're being creepy. It's the same thing. To me, it's the same thing. You're being creepy. You're attracted to something. You're attracted to something, and you can't accept your own sexuality, so you have to be a creep about it. But anyway, on one side, on one side of our little histrionic individual, we have the Ace of Cups and the Three of Pentacles. So this is telling me something like, I just want everyone to get along type of energy. Yeah, I just want everyone to get along type of energy. Yeah. And then on the other side, we have the Child of Cups and the Adolescence of Cups. So this is someone who is like lots of cup energy so far. This is someone who has like the passion and the like openness to romance, I suppose, or openness to be compromising. Like this is a willingness and a passion to be involved, integrated into society. Which I think is a real shame when we like slut shame or we make people feel bad about like presenting in a certain way, in a way that's like unique or interesting. And I think it's really crazy because we'll attack a lot of people who display in a non-conforming way. Or just a very like kind of like it's like non-conforming, but the way they do it is very inviting. So like if you're wearing something very like skimpy or you're dressing very scandalously, you're inviting. That's inviting energy, right? And if you dress very eccentrically or like colorfully or brightly or like clown-like, it is also very inviting energy, very like, yeah, very inviting energy, very pleasing energy. But our society is kind of set up in a way that that is frowned upon or seen as inappropriate or non-conforming, when it's very much like, that's why I mean like there's nuances to when we talk about agreeability. Yeah, that's more of wanting to be in society in a way where you're not harming other people, not agreeability as in you're law abiding. Yeah, because some laws aren't agreeable. Some laws are, and those who go over the laws that are agreeable are antisocial. They're not here to respect other people. And that's through their actions, not their presentation. They can present in a way that, yeah, I feel like presenting in a way that does not conform is not an indicator of agreeability. This is not an indicator of agreeability. That is an indicator of extroversion. Yeah, how you look is a indicator of extroversion, not agreeability. To sum that up. But let's move on. I have on the side of someone who wants everyone to like kind of like get along, or wanting, or it's like a little bit like kind of wanting to find a place in the world with the Hermit card at the bottom of the deck. We also have the Ace of Swords and the Eight of Wands. So this is like, this is giving me very like lots of thinking and lots of action. So this is very like, yeah, I guess it's a lot about like talking, a lot of like getting the information out there, a lot of like expressing yourself. Yeah, a lot of expressing yourself. And on the other side, we have the Elder of Cups. So all of the cups are out here. Well, all of the we got the Child of Cups, the Adolescent of Cups. Oh, we don't have the Adult of Cups. We have the Elder of Cups, and we have the Ace of Cups. And then we have the Empress here. And this is someone who wants to, like, I guess, communicate. Yeah, it's very much a self-expression. It's very much self-expression. I do think that the romantic types are the artist types. I do think the histrionic is going to be a little bit more into muse energy, while borderline is going to be the active artist, and then the social is going to be the celebrators, if I'm using that word right. The ones who celebrate the muses and the artists. And again, like, if it was only those three personality types, society would be kind of beautiful. Would be kind of beautiful, but we can't get rid of anyone, so let's not humor that idea. And we can't make everyone act the same way, so let's not humor that idea. Yeah. I'm still stuck on like, I'm still stuck on how like kind of creepy people can be. And like when you're, I don't know what it's like for I don't know what it's like for every queer individual in the queer community, but being born male and identifying as feminine and not disregarding one of the other puts you in a place in which a lot of people are going to be really creepy. Yeah, it just kind of puts you in a position where a lot of people are going to be really creepy because they don't know what to do with you. So they're going to be really creepy about it. And if you're histrionic and you're assigned male, but you identify as feminine, then you're going to be really noticeable, and people are going to be really creepy. Like one time I was working at a retail store, and a woman, like, I was wearing a blazer, right? And she grabbed the corner, like the opening of my blazer, and opened it to see the rest of my chest. And I was like, if you were born male, you would be in jail right now. You would be in jail right now. And it's very much that, like, when people say, like, when someone gets assaulted or whatever, and if a woman gets assaulted or whatever, and they ask what she was wearing or whatever, like, it's very much the same thing. It's very much the same thing. And I don't think that people respect that, because they think just because you're assigned male that you have some like power over the other person or whatever. And if I did, I wouldn't use it, because I would. It's a little bit like it's a little bit of a catch-22, because she did that and I could have hit her. Right? Because if a man did that to a woman, she could hit him and everyone would be like, yeah, totally. But when a woman does that to someone who is assigned male, or yeah, who's assigned male, everyone is like, almost like, oh well, you got attention, just like that movie. And it wasn't just a movie, it really happened, where that where the lady teacher had sex with the minor, like a minor student, the male student, and they ended up like getting married and stuff, like a whole movie about it or whatever. It was on Netflix. And I'm just like, she did lose her job or whatever, and I think she went to jail. um, but when I heard the comments about like what the people would say to the little boy, they were like, you know, kind of like praising him for like getting this attention already. But I'm like, he was molested, and like you're all like congratulating him, and like, what the fuck is wrong with everybody? What the fuck is wrong with everybody? And I don't know. I do feel like really, I don't know. I really do feel like I had a teacher when I was younger who was like always talking about my eyelashes or whatever. And it's like, it's just these little things, right? These little things that are really subtle that people just get away with. And I'm like, when you compliment someone on a body part that they can't do any, like they couldn't change, they didn't make happen. It's not like, oh, it's not like when you're working out really, when you're working out really hard, and you know you got your biceps all whatever crazy big, and someone's like, oh my gosh, yeah, your arms look great. It's not like when you can't change it, it makes it, it's very inappropriate, guys. It's very inappropriate. I don't know if you guys need to know that, but it's very inappropriate, and you should not be touching people without their permission. I think that a lot of people, like in family and stuff like that, just because they're identified as female, they think they can just touch you. And you know, and we might be really close, like really like close, like not even like distant cousin or whatever it is. But yeah, they think they can just touch you, and then like that's creepy. That's really fucking creepy. Because if like a guy did that, like if you're a man, if a guy did that in the an older guy in the family did that to a younger female in the family, that'd be creepy. And I don't know if everyone calls that out, because a lot of people let a lot of people get away with things. But I'm gonna call it what it is. That's creepy. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. You didn't ask. Don't touch me. What the fuck? I don't just go around and touch you. And it's not like a hug or a handshake or anything. It's like you're touching me. Why are you touching me? Um, yeah, I think a lot of people are really creepy. And then they'll try to be like all shamey to you about being like histrionic and stuff. And you know, being dramatic and presenting and things like that. And it's like, I'm art. You don't touch the art. You don't go to a museum and you cross over the line and touch the painting. You don't put your fingers on the painting. What's wrong with you guys? What's wrong with you guys? For all these, for anyone who's watching this and you've done this before and you're feeling a little bad, you should. I mean, that's just me. It's just coming from me because I'm upset. But and it's not like you can't. It's not like you can't change or be better, or your reputation can't be saved or anything like that. I'm not saying you should be, you know, condemned to hell or anything like that. But I am saying that as long as you keep doing that, you're being a fucking creep. And if you need someone to tell you that you're being a fucking creep for you to stop being a fucking creep, I'm gonna tell you you're being a fucking creep. Don't touch people. Don't just touch people, all right? What the fuck is wrong with you? Just because, just because, just because your anatomy is not seen as the aggressive anatomy, doesn't mean that you're allowed to be aggressive. You're not. And I think that if they don't, I think that if some people don't feel the comfortability to just touch you, to get that sexual tension off just by touching you, they'll make you feel bad about being a particular gender or being a particular sexuality. Um, I had someone in my family who wasn't related to me or whatever, but try to make a statement about gender and like what and sexuality. Like it's really like some people just really don't have any who really don't have any comfort in their sexuality. They really don't. And these are these low energy, like this is the narcissist, this is the antisocial, and this is the obsessive. Like this is the reason why these energies are romantic resistant and can't have a romantic relationship. They can't have it. They can't have it. They can have a sexual one, they can have family, they can have friends or whatever it is, but they can't have like that ideal romantic energy because they're fucking creeps. But you know, I try not to shame. Look, I don't know. I don't want to shame them because it's an energy that can't go anywhere. These are people who can't be disposed of. And if I did think that they could be, I would be in the wrong. All right. But for all my histrionic people, for the client for this case study that we're talking about, some people are going to be creepy to you. Right. Some people are going to be creepy to you. When family does it, freaks. It's like you can't get any further from consensual. Like just because you're blood related doesn't mean it's consensual, because that would be a crazy slippery slope. That would be a crazy ass slippery slope. Don't touch people. Oh my God. I don't know. It's just so many. I'm thinking about so many ways, and it's like very much like I don't know. It's like I think especially for women who are assigned women and identify as women, and they all love like flamboyant, especially homosexually identified men. They love them to like a certain degree, and then past that line is just straight disrespect. Past that line is just, you know, I don't know how many times I've been in like a really close relationship with like a girlfriend, and just the most ridiculously disrespectful things will just slip from their lips every so often. And I'm like over here just minding my own business. It's really like, 'cause I really do think that some people think that gay men are great because they're useful, but they're not real people. And I really think that people really just hold on to the energy. And then they'll be all crazy about it when you don't want to be friends with them anymore. And they'll be like, what did I do wrong? And blah, 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 blah. I'm like, you were a fucking creep is what you did wrong. You didn't respect my personhood is what you did wrong. Right? Yeah, you try to simplify me as like your little henchman or whatever it is. And I do think that some gay men or flamboyant men, or yeah, I think men will do this to women too. So it's not just one way. I do think that gay men will do this to other women too. And that's the whole thing about being like I don't know if I can say this, but uh, an FAG hag. Um, you know, that's a whole saying in the LGBT community. At least it was at some point. But to have like a hag is like, yeah, is to have like a woman who you don't respect, who you don't think is like fabulous or whatever around you, and it's just kind of like to make you feel better about yourself. And yeah, lots of gay men will do this, and it'll work the opposite. It will totally work the opposite. like um like um like a fabulous woman will have like not so attractive, or not seen as attractive, gay men around them as their entourage. um very much same energy, very 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 much the same energy. And I would say that what they have in common is that they are romantic resistant. These people are romantic resistant. um and this is going to be crazy to say, and I think a lot of people do say it, but like, please hang around your level, all right? Now, and by that I mean, don't let other people hang around you and think they're higher than you. That's what I mean. Like, you all have to at least think you're on the same level. And that's why it's just very hard for like, sorry, I got a little gnat in here, but like in the way I talk, I guess. um oh, I was gonna wear my glasses. They're a little dirty, but I'm just gonna wear my glasses because I thought they were gonna be cute. They're all scratched up. I need some more. I need another pair. See, cute. um what was I saying? Yeah, don't be in a friend group that has a hierarchy. There's no leader. All right. um you are not here as the support system, or I mean, unless you're dependent and you want to be like that or whatever. But if you're histrionic, this is for the histrionics out there. Hang out with people who think that they're as fabulous as you and that you are as fabulous as them. All right, it needs to be equal fabulousity here. This is not Destiny's Child. This needs to be it's not even Pussycat Dolls, because there was a main person in there. But this is what Spice Girls. We're trying to be Spice Girls out here. All right, Spice Girls. We're Spice Girls. We're Spice Girls. Yeah. If you're histrionic, you need to be around Spice Girls. Okay. Not. We're not doing Destiny's Child. We're not doing Pussycat Dolls. I don't even know another girl group. But maybe some of the K-pop girl groups. I don't know them. Or K-pop boy groups or whatever. Boy bands. Is girl groups and boy bands? Is it because of the GG and the BB? I love what's it called? A reiteration. Anyway, I'm shuffling this, but on the bottom of the deck was the Empress again. So again, Spice Girls. So we also have the Ten of Swords. So this is gonna be like as far as a questionnaire goes. For the questionnaire for the Empress, for the question for the Empress, I'm gonna say, which Spice Girl are you? For this one, I'm gonna say, will you let attention be the death of you? I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna try to answer these questions to myself. And then we have Justice, and it's going to be, in what ways are you making life fair? I don't know why that's the question that came up, but that is. We also have the Four of Wands, and I'm going to say that, how would you feel if, I would say, how would you feel if you were your only audience? I'm gonna say that. How would you feel if you were your only audience? And then for the another four of Cups, I'm going to ask, is all attention good attention? Do you really do believe that? And I'm gonna leave that there. I didn't go through the matchmaking process here. Um, Again, I do think that the best match for the histrionic to maintain their personhood is going to be borderline. I think social could work too a little bit. Um, um, I think that schizoid would be an interesting um, partnership. You'll be allowed to look as attractive and be as flirty as you want without them really like paying it any attention. So you won't have to worry about the jealousy part there. Um, I think that avoidant is going to be, really attracted to you. I think you're going to also be really attracted to avoidant. Um, it's never gonna go anywhere. But that the thrill of the chase, being chased, the back and forth, the switching between being chaser and runner, is going to be exciting for you at least. And I would say that antisocial is probably going to be your best pairing in the romantic resistant group. Um, but that can lead to um, different forms of physical abuse. Um, as far as oxytocin and dopamine go, of course, serotonin is just the the connection between you and another person. So if you have that, then you have that. Um, Histrionics are going to be really good at promoting dopamine, and they're not going to be seen as promoting oxytocin, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Of course, these are things that, the more I do feel like the more respected you are, the I think you're definitely gonna be easy. It's going to be easy for you to promote dopamine in other people and for you to absorb dopamine. I think it's going to be hard for you to find oxytocin because you're surrounded with so much dopamine energy. If you do find someone that can respect you enough, you will naturally develop dopamine or oxytocin for them. You will bond with them, especially since there seems to be an abundance of people who will disrespect you. So them respecting you is going to seem really special to you. Um, so you're already going to feel bonded based off the mutual respect. Um, yeah, I think that covers those things pretty well. I spent so many days waiting, or so many readings waiting to do a histrionic one, and I feel like I rushed it all by talking about my personal experience with people being creeps. But um, and that's why I say, like, when you're histrionic, histrionic's kind of goal is to be like beautiful, and you just are, because you attract a lot of attention, and attention equals love, strongly connected to beauty. I mean, love is beauty, freedom, and truth. So yeah, if you're free to express your personal truth, um, yeah, you're beautiful, and you're worthy of love, and so you're going to get a lot of attention. And some people are going to really like that, and some people are going to feel really uncomfortable with that. Um, but that's that's all their choice. Whether or not they want to like that or be uncomfortable with that, that is their choice. That has nothing to do with you. They're choosing to filter their feelings through you in ways that are either respectful or disrespectful. Um, so yeah. Again, I want to say, like, stay safe. Be you. Um, Choose wisely. Um, Especially, yeah. I definitely think that if you're in the romantic group, borderline histrionic or social, choose wisely. Friends, family, and lovers can be that in name only. In reality, they can be very much an enemy. Not to fearmonger anything like that, but if you know that if someone makes you feel uncomfortable, they make you feel uncomfortable. If you think someone's trying to confuse you or stress you out or put pressure on you, that's what they're doing. You know, is me saying this shouldn't have you looking around for people who are doing it. It should clarify a feeling that you were maybe too afraid to announce. Okay? Not everyone is worthy of being in your presence. Um, and if they take offense to that, then they really do want your presence. If you stop being around someone and someone gets offended that you're not around them anymore, it's because they want to be around you. So if they think that that's a punishment, that's they chose for it to be a punishment. Just like they chose to be creepy. Just like they chose not to like embrace their own sexuality. Honestly, it has to do with all for this one, for the histrionic personality, it's all sexuality energy. It's all dopamine energy. It's all Aphrodite pandemonia energy. And some people can't handle the heat of Aphrodite pandemonia, and it's because they won't process it. They just won't process it. They don't have any heat of their own. They're too cold to handle your heat because they won't put any fire under themselves. So yeah, I think I'm going to end it there. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you didn't enjoy the video, then I completely understand. I completely, that's totally your choice, and I completely respect it. I almost forgot my own saying there. I hope that you have a wonderful morning, day, afternoon, evening, or night. If you do not wish to have a wonderful morning, day, afternoon, evening, or night, then that's totally your choice, and I completely respect it. Until next time, guys, I'll see you.